A romance anime sure makes our hearts skip a beat, but it's the best if that's a romance anime with a comedy genre. Romance and comedy anime are surely getting much popular nowadays. That's why the idea of making this video comes to my mind. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about the top 10 romance comedy anime of 2021. If you are new to our channel, click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. It's totally free, so it won't cost you though. At number 10 we have Fruit Basket Final Season. This is the last season of Fruit Basket anime. Hundreds of years ago, the Chinese zodiac spirits and their god swore to stay together eternally. United by this promise, the possessed members of the Suma family shall always return to each other under any circumstances. Yet, when these bonds shackle them from freedom, it becomes an undesirable burden, a curse. As head of the clan, Akito is convinced that he shares a special connection with the other Sumas. While he desperately clings to this fantasy, the rest of the family remains isolated and suppressed by the fear of punishment. Toru Honda, who has grown attached to the Sumas, is determined to break the chains that bind them. Her companionship with the family and her friends encourages her to move forward with lifting the curse. However, due to confounding revelations, she struggles to find the tenacity to continue her endeavors. With time slowly withering away, Toru contends with an uncertain future in hopes of reaching the tranquility that may lie beyond all this commotion. At number 9 we have bottom-tier character Tomazaki. Fumiya Tomazaki is Japan's best player in the online game Attack Families, commonly known as TACFAM. Despite holding such a revered title, a lack of social skills and amiability causes him to fall short in his everyday high school life. Failing to have many friends, he blames the convoluted mechanics and unfair rules of life, forcing him to give up and proclaim himself a bottom-tier character in this game. After a fateful meeting with another top-tier TACFAM player, Fumiya is shocked to discover the player's true identity, Aoi Hanami, a popular, smart, and sociable classmate who is the complete opposite of himself. Aoi, surprised at how inept Fumiya is at everything besides TACFAM, decides to assist him in succeeding in what she calls the greatest game of them all. Through the gruesome ordeals of social interactions and relationships, Fumiya begins to advance tiers in the glorious game of life. This anime isn't that much of a comedy, but there are a couple of scenes which will make you laugh.
Butterflies multiply every time I meet your eyes, amplify deep inside once I feel your skin on mine. Though I try, I can't hide all the ways I feel inside. You're everything I want in life.
At number 8 we have Higehiro. When regular salaryman Yoshida wakes up one Sunday morning after a long night at the bar, the last thing he expects to see is that his tiny apartment has a new resident, an unfamiliar high school girl. The previous night, despite finally gathering the courage to confess to his boss and longtime crush, Eri Goto, Yoshida was rejected. After drowning his sorrows at a bar with his good friend Hashimoto, Yoshida headed back to his home in a drunken stupor, only to run into Sayu Ogawara, a runaway high schooler. She asked him to let her stay the night, and with his judgment clouded by alcohol, Yoshida complied. Now, with his head on straight but with no memory of last night's events, Yoshida has Sayu explain just how she ended up sleeping at his apartment. Having listened to her story, Yoshida finds himself unable to kick her out, especially after learning that she came all the way from Hokkaido. So, despite his reservations about sheltering an underage girl, Yoshida allows her to stay, and their life together begins. This list, number 7 we have Shinigami Bochin to Kuro Maid. Cursed by a witch as a child, a young duke gained the unwanted power to kill every living thing he touches. Forced to move away from his family and into a large mansion deep in the woods, the duke is treated as if he does not exist and is continually shunned by his peers. However, he is not entirely alone. Rob and Alice, his butler and maid, are always by his side. Alice loves to tease him, and as their relationship grows, the duke makes it his goal to break free from his deadly curse. Of course, he is going to need some help, and who better to do this than the various inhabitants of the supernatural? When I started watching the first episode it didn't look that much fun, but after 7 minutes of the romantic comedy between the duke and maid, it changed my mind. I have seen this type of anime before.
Yeah, she's got some nice long hair, and you know that she's a bad chick. All the boys stare, can't help it, it's a habit. Clothes that she wears, short skirt and a jacket. I just wanna get her all alone on a mattress.
At number 6 we have It's Too Sick to Call This Love. People fall in love in the most mysterious of ways. This statement seems to be especially true for the affluent genius playboy Ryu Amakusa. When he nearly falls off the stairs one rainy morning, a girl named Ichika Arima saves him. As if by fate, Ryu encounters Ichika again later that night. She happens to be the best friend of his little sister, Ryo. Wanting to thank her, Ryu attempts to woo Ichika by employing his usual flirtatious tactics only to be immediately shot down. His target creeped out by his behavior. Rather than being discouraged, Ryu instead becomes more enthralled by her, and he begins to do everything he can to steal Ichika's heart despite receiving disgusted reactions each time. However, as time passes by, will Ichika remain repulsed by Ryu's creepy yet dedicated advances? At number 5 we have My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom, Season 2. We all love harem anime. This is also a harem anime, but it's a reverse harem. Yes, you heard it right, it's a reverse harem. Most people would prefer being the protagonist of a world full of adventure, be it in a game or in another world, but unfortunately, a certain girl is not so lucky. Regaining the memories of her past life, she realizes that she was reborn in the world of Fortune Lover, one of the games she used to play. Unfortunately, the character she was reincarnated into, Katarina Klaus, is the game's main antagonist, who faces utter doom in every ending. Using her extensive knowledge of the game, she takes it upon herself to escape from the chains of this accursed destiny. However, this will not be an easy feat, especially since she needs to be cautious as to not set off death flags that may speed up the impending doom she is trying to avoid. Even so, to make a change that will affect the lives of everyone around her, she strives, not as the heroine, but as the villainess.
She just wants to flirt, so I flirt right back. I just put in work, yeah, I work like that. Got me falling and it hurts, yeah, it hurts so bad. All in and it's worth everything I have.
At number 4 we have Quintessential Quintuplets Season 2. Hey, yes, you, the person watching this video, wouldn't you think it is better to get love with quintuplets, sister? If you think that way, then this is the right anime for you. Through their tutor Fuutaru Uesugi's diligent guidance, the Nakano quintuplets' academic performance shows signs of improvement, even if their path to graduation is still rocky. However, as they continue to cause various situations that delay any actual tutoring, Fuutaru becomes increasingly involved with their personal lives, further complicating their relationship with each other. On another note, Fuutaru slowly begins to realize the existence of a possible connection between him and the past he believes to have shared with one of the 5 girls. With everyone's feelings beginning to develop and overlap, will they be able to keep their bond strictly to that of a teacher and his students, or will it mature into something else entirely? At number 3 we have the rom-com where the childhood friend won't lose. Suhara Maru is childhood best friends with one of Hozumino High School's most popular girls, Kuroha Shida. Cute, outgoing, and affectionate, Kuroha is the perfect older sister type. She has boys constantly begging at her feet to be with her, yet, when she confesses to Suhara one day, he immediately rejects her. He just can't think of her in that way. Besides, he already has his sights set on his first love, school idol and renowned author Shirakusa Kachi. Suhara believes that he has a chance with Kachi after one fateful meeting, but soon, he finds out that Kachi has a boyfriend. With his dreams now shattered, Suhara agonizes over what could have been, that is, until Kuroha approaches him with a proposal. Let's get revenge. Anime of this video is Horimiya. On the surface, the thought of Kyuko Hori and Azumi Miyamura getting along would be the last thing in people's minds. After all, Hori has a perfect combination of beauty and brains, while Miyamura appears meek and distant to his fellow classmates. However, a fateful meeting between the two lays both of their hidden selves bare. Even though she is popular at school, Hori has little time to socialize with her friends due to housework. On the other hand, Miyamura lives under the noses of his peers, his body bearing secret tattoos and piercings that make him look like a gentle delinquent. Having opposite personalities yet sharing odd similarities, the two quickly become friends and often spend time together in Hori's home. As they both emerge from their shells, they share with each other a side of themselves concealed from the outside world. After finishing this anime, I thought it would be better if this anime name was Horimiya. This was a joke.
And all the boys say she was sent from the heavens, but I'm not too sure that this girl is a blessing. She's got the devil's eyes and they'll cut you like a weapon. She's stuck in my mind like a bad obsession. Got bad intentions.
At last, number 1 is Girlfriend. After harboring an unrequited love for years, Naoya Mukai finally gets to date his childhood friend, Saki. However, just as he tries to commit himself to this relationship, he receives an abrupt confession from Nagisa Minaze. At first, Naoya tries to reject her but is soon overcome by feelings of not wanting to hurt Nagisa. Trying to avoid betraying his girlfriend's trust in him, Naoya thinks up a solution to make both girls happy. Timing. Naturally, Saki rebuffs this idea, but through Naoya's and Nagisa's persistence, she reluctantly submits. With this, a three-way affair begins between Naoya, his girlfriend, and his other girlfriend, as they develop a relationship that deviates from the social norm. It may be a Romace comedy anime, but it's particularly a ecchi genre anime. Well, that's all for today's video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and tell me your thoughts about this video in the comment section. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.